the essence of justice is not solely punishment. It is rehabilitation. I don't think our criminal justice system intended to impose life sentences for shoplifters or drug users, but that's just the way our law has operated for decades. Our current system often falls short of recognizing the potential for change in nonviolent offenders. This bill takes a step towards acknowledging that rehabilitation is not only possible, but should be rewarded. It is time for us to shift our focus from punitive measures to restorative justice. This bill is not a compromise on safety. It is a strategic approach to allocate and prioritize resources effectively while returning justice to those who deserve it the most. Let me be the speaker to crystallize why we need to pass this bill through the 2 R's: reallocating resources and reducing recidivism. First, on reallocating resources, incarcerating individuals is incredibly expensive, as we all know. According to the Legislative Analyst's Office, it costs an average of about $106,000 per year to incarcerate one inmate in prison in California. And the total state expenditure on prisons was just under $43 billion. By releasing nonviolent offenders early, governments can save money on the costs associated with imprisonment, which includes housing, healthcare, and security. These funds can then be redirected to more effective crime prevention and rehabilitation programs, as Section 3B of this bill entails. Moreover, this bill can also subsidize the police fundings that the negation senators will most likely come up here and worry about. Because loosening up unnecessary space in prison equals cutting down on expenses, and cutting down on expenses equals more subsidies to support our social fabric. To put it simply, the affirmation solves both sides' worries. Now, talking about reducing recidivism, let's look at precedents. In 2014, state voters approved Proposition 47, which converted 6 nonviolent offenses related to drug and property offenses from felonies to misdemeanors, making early release possible. Under Prop 47, the money saved was spent on school truancy and dropout prevention, victim services, mental health, and drug abuse treatments, all these programs to keep offenders out of prison. Let's circle back and take the negation at their highest ground. That police officers, sure, they won't receive enough funding, but you still pass this bill because rehabilitation reduces recidivism, and if fewer criminals are on the street, there will be a lower need for police officers. Senators, I want to remind you that the key demographic this bill protects is the felons who endure systematic racism in this nation. Unlike their wealthy, white counterparts, nonviolent offenders have the rest of their lives rotten in overcrowded jail cells of a country that prides itself on justice because they simply cannot afford better lawyers. All they got are incompetent public defenders who deals with 1 million cases a day. And if you negate this bill, you reject their opportunities of escaping our systematically plagued and oppressive criminal justice system. Pass.